This is where the name Foxtail comes from. I used to actually wear a foxtail chain every day. Foxtail in full effect, okay? Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Foxtail Digital coming to you again with Black Girl Stocks. And this is another segment of our top 3 option plays this week, where we're just gonna go over a few different trades, stock fundamentals, and different strategies that you can do to make it through, okay? But first, if this is your first time watching this video, please make sure that you click that thumbs up button. It really helps the channel. Also subscribe and click that notification bell so that you get notified anytime I upload a new video for you guys. So a quick recap of last week's plays. So we were bullish on Netflix from the popularity of the stock and its overall uptrend. We were starting around 682. We moved to about $700 on Wednesday. Actually, that's the day that Tiger King 2 came out. You can kind of see why the stock has been dropping ever since. I mean, the show was, yeah, they did what they could. The stock fell towards the end of the week, closing at $678.80. Next was AMD, that's Advanced Micro Devices, and they did very well this week, going from 147 up to 155. And they actually did peak around 158 around market open on Thursday. For the long term, this stock looks like it's gonna do pretty well with AMD and the semiconductor stratosphere with their supercomputers, HPCs. So AMD is doing their thing. And that's pretty bad. The last of last week's plays is Mara, and this is Marathon Digital Holdings, and we started this around $75, so we were bullish on all the plays. As you'll see on Monday, the stock started to plummet, and it dropped a majority of the week down to $47 on Thursday. All of this happened off of news Monday morning about their open subpoena by the SEC. But you will see that Mara did kind of start to make a pullback on Friday. Let's get into this week's plays. So the first stock on the top 3 is going to be PLUG. This is Plug, the green hydrogen producer Plug Power, and right now it's trading at $44.55. So off the bat, just looking at this stock chart, you can see that it's been uptrending since about the beginning of October, and it's had a couple of high peaks at $34 and $42. And you can see on this chart, we just had a golden crossover back on October the 12th. So make sure that you guys watch that video that I just posted about the golden cross strategy with the moving averages. From a distance, I'm going to have a bullish outlook on this stock. 1, for the overall uptrend, and 2, because of the positive attention on stocks in the clean energy and EV sector right now. And it definitely has some room to grow down here with the RSI. It's pretty neutral for an uptrend around 60. And you'll also see we kind of have some strong resistance around 43 and the 43 and the $44 zone. It's hit there about 3 or 4 times. And just last week, Plug looked like it was breaking out of this pennant pattern. So this is something that I would like to see breaking out of this strong resistance zone. Some of the price ranging last week may have been due to some additional competition of green energy businesses in Europe. Plug shares dropped last Monday when AXPO Holding announced that it would be diving into green hydrogen production in Switzerland. They're projecting some pretty big numbers. So AXPO is said to have annual profits of $1.5 billion. Now that's a big difference from Plug Power's 31 million 12-month revenue. And even with big competition on the surface, don't sleep on Plug. Analyst estimates have been changing and upgrading for this stock. A lot of times when influential analysts change their ratings or outlook on a stock, so that tends to influence and fluctuate the stock's price. So on Wednesday, a Citi analyst raised his price target on Plug Power from $65 to $56 per share. That's an almost 50% increase in a very short amount of time. On Friday, another analyst at Morgan Stanley raised his Plug target from 43 to 65. I want to set my entry zone around 45. Now, a possible break around 45 and above that resistance, that's going to be a good indication that it is going to continue on this strong uptrend. And I'm going to have a target price set around $51, just kind of going with this general trend of it making higher highs. Now, going to the options, the implied volatility volatility, it's a little bit high, around 76, 79. And right now with the prices honestly aren't that high for this. You know, if you wanted, you can just do a long position and it'll be around $300. I'm a little bit torn between two different long positions and a credit spread. Okay, so as far as the credit spread, so I would do a put credit spread because I'm bullish on this. So like I said, the implied volatility is a little bit high on this stock, which usually is going to mean higher priced options. So, you know, you can do a credit receiving position and kind of cut in on some of that. So if I would do it, I would pick December 3rd, and this is going to be a put. So make sure you're in the puts, and I'm going to sell the 42 and then I would buy the 40. So I would give a little bit of width between the legs. And so you'll see right here, you're going to get a credit of 61. And so you'll be profitable as long as the stock stays above $41, and you'll get, you know, the max profit once it reaches 43. Now, as far as the long call plays, option would be the December 17th. And for this one, I would pick still a little bit further out, I will pick the 50 call, and that's still going to be about the same price, 192. So it seemed to be pretty similar. Has a pretty decent bid ask, but this one has a higher volume on the ask versus the bid. So yeah, I'll probably go ahead with this December 17th long call. Let's go ahead and let's get into it. Yes. Okay, so the next stock is FB. This is Facebook. Meta Platforms. This chart actually has a similar pattern to plugs, the one that we were just looking at. So like you'll see right here, we have a very strong uptrend that started around kind of towards the beginning of this month. And you'll see that we've had a pattern of higher highs and higher lows. You know, this pretty clear pattern here. We just hit a recent low last week on the 18th. So, you know, hey, is it gonna break out and continue moving upwards like it's been doing? That's kind of something, you know, that we would look to see, and then, you know, possibly make its way up to 360 plus in the next week or so. So looking down here at the MACD indicator, it looks like it's setting up to follow in this same pattern that we see on the MACD indicator also. Now, I'm definitely going to be bullish on Meta. I would want to set my entry around 350 to 353 just based on a possible breakout above our previous resistance points. Now, even with this bullish outlook, there are some things to keep in mind about the Facebook parent company right now, news-wise. So Meta is actually undergoing a securities fraud class action lawsuit right now. Allegedly, earlier this year, Facebook made misleading statements that inflated the shares prices. They're saying different things like Facebook should have known that duplicate accounts represented for a greater portion of its growth. You know, it's giving catfish. Where's Neve? Different things like that. So news-wise, there's a lot of stuff going on with Meta, but I still want to be bullish on this. Just be mindful, our entry is a little bit a ways from where we are now. You know, our implied volatility, it's okay. It's around $33, but one thing you will see is the stock is projected to have pretty good moves. Now, you already know that the option prices for Facebook, they're going to be high. You know, depending on your preference, I would look to either do a long call or a put credit spread. Okay, so as far as the long call position, I would pick an expiration date around December 10th. So I'm actually going to pick the 370 strike price, and so this is going to be around 306. Okay, and the reason why I like this, it has a very high number on the ask, it has amazing volume and open interest. The delta is decent. Actually, the theta is not really that good. This might be a very short-term hold. So the last stock is going to be SQ. This is Square Inc. trading at 225.14. You can definitely tell that a lot of plays from this video are on patterns. So this is definitely giving a bearish flag pattern. You can see that stock's been in a downtrend for the past few months, starting back in August. And even with a pretty decent earnings report back on the 4th, the stock has still been plummeting. Like I said, you'll see we're in a bearish flag pattern that we just bounced downward from. So it looks like it's using the 50-day moving average as resistance. That's a good bearish indicator. So I'm going to be bearish on this just based off technical analysis, and I'm going to have an entry point around $223 and a profit target around $200. So that's going to be about a $20 drop in price. Okay. For the put debit spread, I'm gonna pick an expiration date of December 10th. I'm going to buy the 230 and I'm going to sell the 225. And so you'll see this is our put debit spread, and our total cost is going to be 285. Or our max profit 215, max loss 285, and you'll be profitable as long as the price stays above 227. The next option would be a call credit spread, and so this one is going to be for December 3rd. Go to the calls, and I'm going to sell the 232.5 and I'm going to buy the 235. And so this is going to be our call credit spread. So you'll see here we're going to get a total credit of around $70. The most we can lose is 180 with this, but we'll be profitable as long as the stock stays above this 233. I just posted on how to set up your Thinkorswim scanner to find stocks that recently had a golden cross moving average crossover like we just talked about in this video. This is gonna really help you with great trend trading, so make sure you check this video out, okay? That's that pressure. Check that out.